What is up, everybody? Welcome to Youth Online. I'm going to be waiting a few minutes. Robbie's spamming my text right now. We're going to welcome you guys all into our Youth Online. 6 p.m. every Sunday night, except the nights that we have city groups. Kaya joined. What's up, Kaya? Pastor Brandon's in the house. Good to see you. Robbie sent a request that I'm going to deny. Angel Hands Art. That's Savannah. I know you. Welcome in, you guys. What a day. What a day for us Chiefs fans. Let's go Chiefs Nation. What a win. I mean, it was the New York Jets, but we're still thrilled. I'm here hanging out in my basement. So my wife actually just she went to go pick up some pizza. We're going to have a good night watching the Eagles play another team. So hopefully Pastor Brandon will enjoy that. That's Robbie. Robbie hates that, but I keep saying it. But we're going to wait a few minutes to let everybody hop in here. We got a really fun game planned. We're going to have a conversation tonight with Pastor Marcus. And then after that, we're going to give a little giveaway away. Then we're going to hop back to regular life, hop back to some football, pizza, eating your Halloween candy. Robbie, of course you can come over. You are always welcome at my house. I would never, ever, and when you come over, I would never even ask you to give me anything for it. I would never ask you to pay for the food that we'd provide from you out of the goodness of our hearts or anything like that. But guys, we're thrilled to be here tonight. Hey, as you're joining, and this is going to be up on IGTV later, as you're joining, if you are new, whether maybe you're new to Youth Online, maybe you're new to our student ministries, maybe somebody gave you our handle and said, hey, there's a really amazing guy hosting something called Youth Online tonight. Go over there and join that. If you are new, same thing applies that we do in service. You can text new EC to 97,000. Great way to let us know that you were with us and that you were in the house. And we are thrilled and happy to be able to hang out with you guys and just connect further, let you know about the things that we have going on here at Evangel Students. And as well, we want to continually push Speed the Light. If you have any Speed the Light money, I saw a student actually just this morning turn some Speed the Light money into the buckets on the corner of the stages. If you want to do that now, one thing you can do is you can text any amount to 84321. Of course, you can also go online at evangel.church and you can give that way as well. But guys, we're thrilled to be here. What an afternoon to be a Chiefs fan. Hopefully, it's going to be a good night to be an Eagles fan. We're not sure. I think if you saw Pastor Rob's, maybe it was an Instagram talking about the NFC least. We'll see who winds up on top of that. But we're so glad that you guys are here with us. Hey, we are going to jump into a game here in just a minute. So whoever's hosting my game, if you can request to join live, we got a really fun game that I'm super excited about, super pumped about. And we're going to be doing it live with a student. So we're going to, thank you, Nicole or Tyler. I assume that was Tyler. I know I do look good. Guys, look at his hair. Don't I look fabulous? Man. So we're going to here we go. Kaya's going to be joining us. Let me accept. We have a game. Kaya, Bailey, and Ashton are all live at one of your houses. And they're going to play a game outdoors with a few students. So here we are. It's a little dark. I didn't think that through, but it's spinning. No cap double. So I think we got Kaya with us. She is, yeah, that's right, Tyler. I see you. She is walking up on somebody's house right now. Do you got the kids now, or are you still walking up?
We got them right here. We got.
Okay. Oh, all right. All right, so I'm going to explain the game and have them come outside.
Okay.
Or maybe, yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. We don't want to be chucking something around the middle of their house.
You guys have to come outside.
Are
you guys okay? Okay. Probably just a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes the delay. That's all right. It's all right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to be playing a game called the Toss Up Challenge. Maybe you've seen this on TikTok. Or, I don't know, Vine. Is that a little thing? That's not a thing. Okay, boomer. But it's a toss-up challenge, so what they're going to do is they're going to set the phone on the ground, and they're going to yeet a ball up in the air, and then it's going to fall down and hit somebody on the head. So maybe we need to, I don't know if there's outdoor lights. Maybe you can turn the flash on your camera or something like that. Or maybe we're just going to have to let you tell us who hits in the head. But we're going to be playing this game.
We're going to go by the garage and use the
garage. We're going to go by the garage. Everybody wants to light up the garage because it's where they park their car. That's right. Thank you, Robbie. We're going to be yeet the ball straight up in the air. It's going to come down on one of you. So pick your most accurate tip-off thrower. You want to throw that ball straight up in the air. It's going to come down and hit somebody in the head. Whoever it hits in the head is the person who gets hit. Here we go. Make sure you guys are leaning over top of the phone. and let this. All right, real quick, just like that. Don't move. I want you guys to make sure everybody knows which students you have with you right now.
Okay, we have Matthew and Nema with us.
Matthew and Nema Kumaku out in Lee Summit. All right, we're going to be playing the toss-up challenge. So we'll just play a few rounds of it, and then I will kick you all out of here.
Okay, I'm good.
Here we go.
All right.
Anybody told me this? Maybe hit someone's like hip or something like that.
Okay.
Right, if the ball drops and hits the phone, Pastor Marcus will buy you a new one. He just said so.
Screenshot that.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh! That's tough, man. You threw it behind you. We need a new thrower, I think. All right, let's get a couple more. I want to see somebody get popped in the top of the head. Is that the same thing? Use a brick. Pastor Robbie said use a brick. Not me. I would never say that. There you go. All right, got a couple of you there. See how high you can get that ball. We'll do a few more, and then we're going to hop on to the next thing.
Okay. All right.
Here we go. Oh, right there. Get the blue tent ready. That is awesome. All right, do a few more and we'll be done. And then Pastor Marcus is going to be joining us here in just a minute, right after I recap our message. Do a couple more.
Don't hit the house.
Oh my God. You hit the house.
What happened?
We hit the roof.
He hit the roof.
You hit the roof. Guys, that's property damage.
The roof's okay. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay, that's Matthew. I heard his voice. He said it's fine.
It's fine.
All right, do a couple more.
Okay.
Nice.
He's throwing it behind you. You got to do an earlier release. Earlier release. One more good one. One more good one. Go chase that ball. Watch out for the street. Here we go. That was premature. I hit him straight in the face. We're gonna forget that one. Do one more. I want to see a good one here.
Oh no, I'm scared.
Oh, nice. All right, thank you guys for playing this game with us. Y'all can sit around and hang out, play that. I'm gonna kick you all off. Very good. Remove Kaya. Maybe you gotta kick yourself off. How do I don't know how to get rid of you. Can you leave?
Bye.
Can you please? All right, see ya. Thanks for hanging out with us, you guys. Very good. Pastor Marcus in a minute is going to join us. Really quick, I want to briefly recap our message. This morning in our middle school service, we gave a message basically on unity. So the high schoolers didn't hear this message, and so Youth Online really is going to serve as your proper service tonight. But the message is unity in the midst of division, right? In the time that we are in this current situation that we are in, our country is divided, right? No matter which side you politically affiliate with, no matter which opinion you have on many different matters, we live in a divided country. And not only that, but even among believers, there's much division on politics and on many other issues. And so I think it's important for us to have a conversation. How do we live in the midst of division? How do we have unity in the midst of disagreement, maybe? Because division is a negative thing, but we can disagree with people, and yet at the same time, we can still love those people, and we can hold them close in our hearts. And one thing that Pastor Marcus has been amazing at is at our church, he has been leading something for the past 2 years called Cross-Cultural Conversations. And this is a little different than that, but really I think this kind of continues along that same phrase, that same kind of line of thinking to where how do we interact with, how do we relate with fellow believers and maybe even non-believers who think nothing like us or very, very, very little like us. So Pastor Marcus, if you can hit that join live button, I'm going to go ahead and bring you on here. I'm just going to ask you a few questions. And as I'm kind of recapping a little bit, this morning we talked about this idea. Unity is being defined as that state of being whole, being united or being whole together. And so how does the church respond when among the brothers and sisters in the name of the Lord, we're disagreeing on really pretty big things? So one of the things we talked about is a divided world needs a united church. And that's what we're going to bring Pastor Marcus on, and we're going to talk about that. So here he is popping up, I think, here in just a minute, waiting for it. There he is. What is up, Pastor Marcus? Thank you for joining us for Youth Online tonight.
What's going on?
We're glad to have you here, man. So we're having a conversation in students. We had it this morning about kind of the state, not of our country and kind of our country in general, just division. I mean, this is election week. This is a big week for our country. And everybody's been watching the commercials. They've been seeing, who's for what, who's against what. And so a little bit of the conversation that we kind of want to have right now is, what is a Christian's response when a fellow believer and them have a major disagreement, whether it's politically or whether it's along the lines of some of these other social issues. So tonight's obviously the next thing that's really coming up big in our nation is an election on Tuesday. If you're watching and you can vote, make sure you do vote. We encourage people to vote. I said it this morning, even to our middle schoolers, voting, you need to be a part of the process. And when you're part of the process, you can more accurately critique that process. But Pastor Marcus, I just want to kind of hear a few minutes of your opinions and your thoughts about what do we do. And let's kind of start maybe a little generic. What do we do when a fellow believer and us have a major disagreement on something that we think is majorly important in our life? What are just maybe some foundational things? We'll get to maybe some specifics of the election or whatever. But what do we do when we have a disagreement with somebody that we love? What's our response? How can we talk to them and address them about that?
Well, I think one of the key things we talked about, especially in cross-cultural conversations, is just understanding first that if it's your brother and sister in Christ, that you both have the same father. You both have are part of the same family. And so just like in a family, if you have an argument, a disagreement, you're not going to stop being brothers and sisters just because you don't agree with something. You might have this disagreement, but you're going to continue to be brothers and sisters. You're going to continue to be family. So put that in the forefront of everything and understand that they might have an experience or a filter that they see things right or wrong in that you don't have yourself. You might have experienced something totally different than they have. You might have been raised totally different than they have. And so they have a reason why they believe the way they believe. And you got to understand that, and you have to not necessarily approve it, but at least respect it enough to say, okay, well, you thought about this, you came to a conclusion, and although I don't agree with it, your goal is to have a better existence for you and yours, or the people that are like you. And you believe that this is the right way to go. I just disagree with that. And so that's one of the things where we got to understand, especially as our nation, we really got to understand that people, even if you are a Republican and you're talking about a Democrat or vice versa, they believe that their way of getting this country better or making this country better is their way. And that's the main thing. And I think that's one of the things where even if it's fundamentally wrong or it's something where it's just they don't understand it, they still want to make their country right, and they want to make wherever they're living right. And so I think understand that, go in there saying, like, these are not evil people, not all the time. They might be, but at least give them the benefit of the doubt. And just like the Bible talks about, like, think the best of them and then go from there. You can't control them. You can't make them think like you. You can love them. You can talk with them, and you can have a conversation about them, and you can form these relationships where you can start understanding better, but not necessarily change their lives. And I don't think you need to try to change everybody. Sometimes you just need to speak and say what you believe in. And if you go your separate ways, go in respect, go in love. But don't go and just start go on Facebook, Instagram, or wherever, social media, like, I hate fill in the blank, so go in love always.
Absolutely. So one thing that we brought up this morning is that you are surrounded by people who are all saying the same thing as you, there's probably going to be some problems coming from that. You're probably not seeing a full side. Take in mind a student who maybe believes a certain thing and everybody in their life kind of agrees with them. What are some tips that you can give a student to maybe find opinions that are different than theirs, that are not going to be maybe crazy, but how would you encourage a student who maybe is surrounded by people who only agree with them? And how would you encourage that student to maybe find some people who can maybe show a different perspective, show a different way, a different life experience that's led someone else to a different idea or opinion on something?
Well, one of the things I was just saying, same thing we tell the adults. First, I'll go in with a humble heart, with a learning heart also, and just say, you know what, hey, I want to know better, hear different, or not even better. I want to know differently, hear differently, and get out of my bubble or get out of my echo chamber, which we call something that you hear all the time. If you keep hearing the same message all over again, it kind of just gets indoctrinated into your head without even challenging it if it's right or wrong. And so get into those places where hey, this person may think differently. And it might not be someone of your peer group because you might be surrounded by everyone like that. So you might have to venture out to an adult or to a teacher or to someone else to be able to introduce and make that, bridge that gap between you and another person. So I think that's one of the key things is just going and seeking it out and understanding like, hey, I feel like I'm right, but I might be wrong. And I need to get a different opinion about it. And I think that's what's been happening with both political parties. A lot of people that are staunch Republicans, staunch Democrats, before they can even consider what they even stand for, they just believe that they're right without even testing or challenging that they're right or wrong. And they don't even see the nuance of what it is. And it's not just easy black or white answer. It's a gray area. And a lot of times they haven't even heard the other side. And so just kind of start seeking those people out. And you can even just, and it's going to be awkward, especially if you're not used to that, saying, hey, I'm trying to understand better. Can you help me understand your point of view? And just let them talk. And then not even say, well, this is why I think this way. Just like, thank you for letting me know that. And then you digest that and process that yourself.
That's great. Do you have any, I might be putting you on the spot here, but do you have any examples? Maybe it's your life. Maybe it's a situation, you know, being a pastor, you lead a lot of different people. Do you have any examples maybe that you can share where you've seen somebody almost having their lights kind of turned on in their mind, like, oh, wow, like other people experience the world different than me? Do you have any examples or anything like that? Maybe not use names if they're someone we're familiar with. But.
Right. Well, it's just not just playing. I was about to just start naming all kind of people. But no, I think one thing that happened to us, because we did cross-cultural conversations, and some of your parents probably were a part of it, or if they haven't been, we encourage them next time we get a part of it. Is week 3 this year, we kind of talked about some of the history of race and racism in America, in the church, and also in Kansas City. And a lot of people didn't understand, like, oh, my goodness, I didn't know these things were happening. And so all these times we've heard, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Everybody has the same opinion and opportunity, and understanding what equity is versus equality or no chance at all is important for people to understand. And so that when we showed a video by Paul Vischer, who is Bob the Tomato on VeggieTales, which is crazy, showed a video talking about like how redlining and other type of things that the government put in place and policies that they put in place, how it negatively affected the African-American community. A lot of people that were not black, you're just like, oh my goodness, I didn't know this. And so when those aha moments happen, seize them and not just sit here and beat them over the head and say, see, this is what I told you. See, this is what I told you. But you can just open the opportunity to say, well, hey, now that you kind of had this, Sarah said, Paul Vischer. But yeah, Phil Vischer. I said Paul. I was thinking about Paul Fischel.
I was thinking the same thing when you said that.
But don't beat them over the head with it, but just say, hey, now that your eyes are open, how are you feeling? What are you thinking about? And then like let them kind of talk it through, because I've learned that sometimes they'll arrive at the conclusion that they might need to arrive at better if they do it themselves, rather you trying to drag them along.
Right. Absolutely. One thing that really helped me in understanding, because I think it's naive, but it's also common to where we just assume the world for us, the world for everyone else is the same as it is for us. And I think one phrase I've heard a lot is you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's okay if you don't understand somebody else's perspective, but what's not okay is to stay in that ignorance. What's not okay is to stay there and be like, well, I don't know that, and so I can't respond to that. But when you go to somebody, maybe it's a person of a different race. Maybe it's a person of a different family situation, right? We have kids whose families look like the picture frame families. You got a mom and a dad and a brother and a sister. We have kids who have adoption as a part of their family. So when you find yourself thinking, well, I don't understand that, I don't know that, I think the greatest thing you can do is seek somebody out, right? Yeah. You probably have somebody in your life. Maybe it's that, uncle at your family event that you disagree with and you still love him, right? You've got somebody in your life that you disagree with. And if you seek that out, I think it's really a positive and a beneficial thing to be able to open your eyes. Because there's nothing more, I think, more liberating for somebody is when you open your eyes to something that you never saw. It is an amazing feeling. Sometimes it's humbling and it can make you feel sorrowful depending on what you're understanding. But when you really open your eyes up and you see the world differently, then I think you can be more empathetic to other people. You can realize, wow, I didn't realize that this person experienced something like that because I've never experienced that. But when you see other people, it really opens our eyes. And I think that's a great thing. That's what our country needs. And yet, that's sometimes the most difficult thing for us to do. So Any parting words you want to leave with the students? Just kind of, because, and one thing, I don't know what it was like when we're probably the same age, but like when I was their age, politics meant nothing to me. Now I got 11-year-olds who are red in their face, passionate about politics. What is one maybe piece of advice you have for students, maybe politically, but just in general, about opening themselves up to more ideas, opening themselves up to maybe people that they aren't used to? What's maybe like one little phrase or advice that you have before you hop off?
Just challenge even your thoughts, or the way what you believe. I was always raised to question everything, and maybe not be super skeptic about everything, but it's question a lot of things, not to the point where nothing is true, but understanding why something is true. And I think that's where a lot of times we don't have that critical thinking skill built up in our heads, where we are thinking through like, okay, why do I believe this? And even the Bible even talks about that, kind of consider what you believe in, having that conviction of your thought. And if you move in a direction without a conviction, you actually are sinning. And it talks about this, like if you eat something without really believing that it's okay to eat it, and this is just that like object that they're using at that moment, if you're eating this without really believing in Romans 14, I think it is, then you're sinning. And so if you really believe in something, if you think you believe in something, test it out, make sure that you really, really believe it and have conviction of it. And then also two more things, just as Paul said, I press towards the mark, keep pushing. And I think a lot of times we think that the path of least resistance is the right path. And a lot of times it's actually not, especially in the Christian world, especially in our Christian world, where we've been used to Christianity being kind of somewhat accepted. And now we're starting to kind of turn a little bit where, okay, maybe we have a lot of different thought processes when it comes to religion or spirituality. But keep pressing. And even when it gets tough, it's going to get hard. And God's saying that's good. And then the last thing is Galatians 6. And this has been kind of the theme verse for me since March. Don't grow weary in doing well. But if you keep on, you will reap a harvest if you don't give up in due time. And so that's one of the things where, make sure you do a good job of, engaging, but then disengaging, resting, relaxing, having people hold you accountable, being with your friends, being at church, being filled with the word, resting, engage. So it's a process, just continue it, but don't go 100% all gas and then don't take any breaks.
Yeah. Right. So good, man. That's great. That's great. Thank you, Pastor Marcus, for joining us. We'll let you hop off and get to watching the Eagles. Who knows what'll happen, but we can spam Robbie, let him know if it's good or bad. But thank you, Pastor Marcus. I'll let you hop off. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate your wisdom and your advice, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care. All right, you guys. I want to close this part just with one quick scripture, Isaiah 40:31. It's a scripture that's used to encourage and challenge people during difficult times. And I just want to read this one to you guys really quick. Reading out of my Bible. Guys, do you have a Bible? If you don't have a Bible, we'll talk about that in a minute. Isaiah 40:31 says, But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Guys, we are in the midst of a time where it is easy to give up. Maybe you've held beliefs very closely to your heart for a long time and you just feel like no one's going to ever see it your way. I want to challenge you to not give up. Allow the Lord to give you some rest and some strength and rely on him. We posted a video to our Instagram page earlier this morning that, for me, has really given a lot of kind of clarity for how I think about politics, right? Whether you're Republican, Democrat, no matter what, we represent another king from another kingdom. I challenge you, I suggest that you go watch that video on our Instagram page by Dr. Tony Evans, gifted, amazing speaker. There's a lot happening in our chat right now, but I'm going to ignore that. I think Pastor Robbie's dealing with that. But guys, thank you so much for being here. We do have a quick giveaway that we want to do. We're going to be giving away a Starbucks gift card. I know y'all love them Starbucks gift cards because you need the pumpkin cream cold brew. Don't get the pumpkin spice latte. What is that? Or whatever Nicole got. I don't know, but Nicole put that in the chat. Some chai tea, some non-coffee thing. But before we get to that, just want to challenge you guys. If you are interested in the next step with your walk with the Lord, if you are interested in the next step in your conversation with Jesus and what that looks like, I got one thing I want you to do. Text BELIEVE to 97,000. That helps us that lets us know that you are just curious about faith, that you're wanting to open the doors for maybe what's next in your life. We want to help you walk through that. We have resources. We have things that we can give you, conversations that we want to have with you. So text BELIEVE to 97,000. And like I said about the Bible, if you do not have a Bible, we want you to have a Bible. Yes, the apps are great. They're amazing. They're incredible. The world runs on apps. But we want to put a copy of God's Word in your hand. If you do not have a Bible and you want one, we have invested some money in some great Bibles. Text First Bible to 97,000, and that'll let us know that you're looking for a Bible. We'll make sure that we get one put in your hands. And we'd love to have a conversation about what you're reading. We'd love to have a conversation with what you're going through. I suggest if you don't read the Bible much, just open to John, start reading that. Some insane things happened, and Jesus did, and he did for us. Guys, we got a quick giveaway. I don't know, Ivy, what you're doing down there. Among Us code, nice. But we got a quick giveaway to Starbucks gift card, okay? I was trying to debate how we were going to give this away, and I think that all Among Us ain't dead. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chat. I think what I want to do, guys, we got an election coming up on Tuesday. You might be 11 and you can't vote, but you're passionate about it. You might be a parent. If you're a parent, get out there and vote, please. But the first person to drop an American flag emoji in the chat is going to win our Starbucks gift card for this week. It doesn't matter who it is. Just drop an American flag chat in the comments. I'm watching the comments. Let's see who gets it. Maybe Robbie, watch with me just in case I miss it because I'm not seeing it. But we want to give away that gift card to you. Give me the card now. Claire, bro, Claire. Oh, Gabe almost got it. That was probably it, Rob. You can't win it, Rob. I'm sure that was Emily, Ivy. Okay. So, guys, no matter what your opinions, Democrat, Republican, none of that. That's why I said drop a flag. We need to unite together for this nation, forge forward, and build a better path for all Americans. Guys, thank you for being with us at Youth Online. Make sure, if the Eagles are getting crushed tonight, that you text Robbie, okay? Text Robbie. Say, how about them Eagles? Bro, Eagles are sus. Go Cowboys. Even on the third-string quarterback and they winning. So we're going to let you guys hop off. Thank you so much for being a part of tonight. I'm going to slowly let you guys go, and I'm just going to sit here and model my hair as you leave. Man, Tyler, that was my favorite comment you've given me. Man, look at that hair. Robbie's right, though. Look at that, guys. Okay, Boomer. Look how thin that is. Y'all aren't jumping off. Maybe I'm just that amazing. Joking. Oh, Ivy says she hates the Eagles. Alex, what's up, Alex? I haven't seen you in forever. Ivy? Bro, it's everybody. It's old middle school stuff from back in the day, bro. My hair goals. That's what she meant to say. Hair goals. I get that. Thank you, Alex. I miss you, Alex and Ivy. I think I saw Megan hop on here. I've seen a lot of people. Pastor Sarah's in the house. All right, Megan. Okay. What's up, Robbie? What do you think of that? It's thinning. Look at that. I wish I could throw it back. Nice, like Alex. We had some fun in middle school camp. Guys, I'm just going to keep going with this. Cowboys are sus. Thank you. I hope that's Marcus, both Marcuses. Don't forget to sign up for house parties, guys. We haven't had events together, but you know what? We're going to do house parties again. That's going to be November 21st. It's going to be an amazing event, so make sure you're there. All right, I'm going to hop off. This is going too long. It's related 12 years behind the chat. Oh, my. Oh, now I feel weird. Well, all right. See ya!